Excellent, everyone. Just making sure we're live where we need to be. Welcome to today's webinar, or I say webinar, a short video training on how you can add 1 to 3 commercial referrals from your existing database, doing exactly what you're doing. So especially if you're a residential agent or if you're a commercial agent who's newer, and if you're a commercial agent who's seasoned, you can operate and do this on the flip side, on the receiving side. But as far as giving referrals out, you can add 1 to 3 commercial real estate referrals from your existing database in the next 30 days, likely in the next 10 or as short as a week from what we've seen before. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. And you don't have to learn anything new. You don't have to get all the commercial real estate tools and resources and the stuff that we have on the commercial side. We're going to get the commercial brokers to do 90% of the work for you. And you're going to just continue doing exactly what you're doing every day. And we're going to show you how to get 1 to 3 commercial real estate referrals and how to do that. And I'll give you all the resources and the tools that you need to make that happen. Go ahead, a lag there. All right, so we're on. Let's find out how to get 1 to 3 commercial real estate referrals from your database. Okay, especially if you're a residential agent. So if you're full-time as a residential agent, which you should be, you likely spend all of your time generating new business, right? And so the question is, how do I get from the level I'm at right now to the next level? Let me go ahead and remove myself there. Right? And there's a couple ways to do that. You could add another revenue stream to what you're currently doing. Okay, so you're not necessarily going to do more. You're just going to do something parallel to what you're already doing. You could do that. And the image there, we're going to open up another faucet along the same lines of what we're already doing, right? You could do that. You could duplicate yourself. The image I use here is for AI, right? So we could use a lot of AI to duplicate a lot of the minutia tasks that we do every day so that we free up more time for the money-making activities, right? So we could do that. And that also involves hiring someone. You could hire someone to do the minutia work so you can do more of the money-making work, or you could scale your business, right? So when you're scaling, you're not just duplicating yourself, you're leveraging other people's time and resources to be able to do more of the effort on the money-making activities yourself. Well, I'm going to suggest you do all three. And we're going to do that in a way that doesn't add to what you're doing on the day-to-day at all. You're just going to continue doing what you're doing. Here's what I mean by that. You've got your sphere of influence and the total pool of people who need residential real estate help right now. Right? And we've recently had some issues with the recent rulings where we have some issues on the buy side with the buyer broker agreements. On the commercial side, I can tell you as a commercial broker, we've always had to deal with securing our commission, making sure we disclose. And this is kind of a new thing on the residential side. You guys will be fine. But in the meantime, if you're worried about dealing with buyers and having a listing yourself, you can do this process yourself. So you've got the total pool of people with residential needs, you've got your sphere of influence, and somewhere in between they overlap, right? Not everyone you know needs residential, and you don't know everyone who has residential needs, but there's some sort of overlap where you're talking to the people who need residential real estate, and you have access to them. So hopefully you're trying to bring as many people of that in that category into your sphere to there we go. To do some business with, right? Well, here's the thing. There's also another sphere, right? This isn't the same grouping, but these people also have commercial real estate needs, right? And you also know them. And the overlap is probably a lot more. Here's the thing. You know three groups of people. You either know people who are employees and likely know the owners or the decisions makers who have a commercial real estate needs, right? That's category one. Category two would be business owners, right? People who own businesses or small businesses. And they need commercial real estate. They need to lease space. They need to grow their inventory, warehouse space. They need to find places to invest their money so that they don't have to pay taxes on it, right? They have commercial real estate needs as business owners. And then there's the third category, which is people who are doing investment real estate, right? They're just straight up investing in commercial real estate, which includes multifamily, by the way. And so, a big majority of the people that you deal with, they're already doing commercial real estate, and they have commercial real estate needs, whether or not you're helping them. And so what I'm suggesting, these people already know, like, and trust you. These people are in your sphere. Why don't you just access them and hand them off to a commercial broker? And so the problem there, as you might know, is where do you find a commercial broker? How do you secure the referral agreement with them? How do you make sure you get paid? These are things that we can teach you. Okay. Then there's the third category, right? Where both the residential and the commercial needs overlap with your sphere. There's your moneymaker right there, where you're dealing with a client who has a property they need to buy. Like this, you helped sell Dave, for example, a house. Dave also has a commercial need. He needs to invest for whatever reason, say it's apartments. And he enjoyed your professionalism and hard work, likely, right? So Dave would also probably work with you on a commercial deal. Now, you probably don't know a whole lot about commercial, but why don't you just borrow the experience of a commercial broker and collect a referral fee, right? Dave's going to go after the apartment anyway. Why don't you benefit from it? Why don't you help Dave out? Because you already know, like, and trust Dave. He already knows, likes, and trusts you, right? So the question is, did you know about the commercial requirement? Did you ask Dave about any commercial needs he has? Did you refer it out? Or did someone else help Dave? Because Dave closed on that apartment, whether or not someone helped him or not, right? A lot of times there's latent, unknown needs for commercial, right? I deal with a lot of owners all the time that have a need to invest in commercial real estate for tax purposes or reinvest their equity. And it takes talking to a commercial broker about their property, about how they can increase their income, about how they can increase their returns, to realize that they should probably make some sort of equity play or move to, again, jumpstart some of their returns. And that's what my job is. You don't need to know all about it. You need to know enough to ask the questions to then refer them over to someone like me. So here's an example of a transaction, right? So let's say that house was $800,000. The commission was, 3%, $24,000. The hours worked. Now, the broker that I was talking to about this, the residential side, he said, you might spend 90 hours on a deal like that. I dropped that down to 40 hours. Say you spent 40 hours total for that transaction, start to close. Your hourly rate for those 40 hours of work, $600. Not bad. Not bad at all, right? Now, on the commercial side, let's say it's a somewhat similar deal. Maybe you need an apartment, a little tiny apartment, $1 million. Now, instead of doing it yourself, because you couldn't do both, right? You could try and do both, but instead of trying to learn all the commercial jargon and all the tools and resources you need to find everything and vet them out and get someone through a transaction in commercial, you referred it out to someone like me or a commercial broker that you know, and you collected a 25% referral fee. Let's just say that's what you did. Now, the commission for that, the referral fee for that, would be $7,500. Now, how many hours, I ask you, did you work that deal? If all you did is have a phone call to hand off Dave to a commercial broker. Well, I find it hard to believe you'd spend more than half an hour on it. Oftentimes, it's a 15-minute phone call. I've got some examples in here where it was a 5-minute text. However long it took them to text me, that's how long it took them to get their how much they worked on a deal to get, $30,000 plus dollars. The hourly rate, if you only spend about 15 minutes handing someone off, is $30,000. Now, obviously, you can't do that nonstop, but think of the leverage that you have just referring out the commercial deals to the commercial brokers. Okay. And if you don't know a commercial broker, I'll teach you how to find a commercial broker and do the deal. And it's not an either or thing, right? Dave's going to do the apartment, and it's not that you can be involved in one or either. You can be involved in both. You can be the expert at the residential, and you can have a commercial broker in your back pocket that you've got an agreement with, that you hand off Dave to, that is a professional that Dave loves and Dave gets excited about, and they give you a referral fee. And if they're a good broker, they're going to give you another referral fee when Dave comes back to them for their next commercial deal. And they're going to send you Dave when Dave wants a residential deal. That's the way that should work. But you should be able to do both of these, and you should be able to just, with a 15-minute phone call, be able to hand Dave off to the right commercial broker when that need arises. The question is, did you know Dave needed an apartment building? I don't know. So let's break that down. 15-minute handoff call could earn you a referral fee with very little effort, right? Someone that you know has a commercial need, you hand them off to a commercial broker. It takes about 15 minutes. Okay? The key is being prepared for that, though, right? So these kind of opportunities, like I said, most of the people that you know are doing commercial real estate, whether or not you're involved. These opportunities are adding up every single day. These clients that have commercial requirements, they're going to transact commercial whether you're involved or not. Okay, they have the need. Your business owner needs some more space to lease. They're going to be doing the deal whether you're involved or not. So you might as well be involved. Okay. Sphere of influence. They know, like, and trust you. This is an advantage that you have over every single commercial broker out there. This is why we would love to partner with you and have you refer business to a commercial broker. Now, that doesn't have to be me. That can be someone that you know, right? In your market, you should be finding the commercial brokers to refer things out to, okay? And you get credit for this, right? So Dave knows you. You say, Dave, you want an apartment? I tell you what, I've got the perfect guy or gal. Let me go talk to them. Let me set up the meeting. You have the meeting with a handoff call for 15 minutes. You go right off into the sunset. Maybe check in with Dave every now and then. See how Dave's doing. Eventually, you get that referral fee check for a couple minutes of work. Virtually no work, right? You get the credit. Dave's happy. Dave's handled by a professional. You get to keep doing your business on the residential side, building that book of business. Now, if you're a commercial broker and you're listening to this, this presentation's for the residential agents. You can be on the receiving end of this, right? This is how we made most of our deals happen when we were with the national brokerage back many years ago, is by teaching residential agents that they should be handing off their deals to commercial brokers. And we happen to be the ones teaching them that. So we just happen to be the ones that usually gave that referral fee or referral to. Okay. So this is how that breaks down. That 15 minutes, probably, $7,500 or more, probably more. My examples are like 100 times more. But that alone is a $30,000 an hour value to your time. So the point is the leverage, right? And you don't have to do anything extra. You're still doing the same thing you're doing every day. How much have you missed out on this year by not keeping an eye out for commercial deals and not having a commercial broker in your back pocket ready to hand deals off to? Okay. You need to be doing that. Here's some real examples. These are broad strokes. I tried to take everything from the broad spectrum so you can see what it looks like. Vineyard sale, $100,000 referral fee. He was a retired attorney. Took about a 30-minute handoff total. I handed him over $100,000 in a referral fee. So his earnings per hour, if you break that down for his 30 minutes of work, he made over $200,000 an hour. And just again, talking about the leverage, he can't be doing that full time for 8 hours a day. He doesn't have that many clients. But rather than try and work the deal yourself, find a broker, hand it off to him. Apartment sale, $20,000, 5-minute handoff. It was really just a phone call Can you take the client? Great. Text me the number. That's it. $250,000 an hour. How much that breaks down. A lease. People may not know this, especially if you're residential. Leases actually pay out as much or better oftentimes than sales, and they're much quicker. There's actually no escrow. So on a lease, you do the transaction, you negotiate the lease. Once the lease is signed, you get paid half usually. And then when the tenant opens for business, you get the other half. Okay? There's no escrow. You just send an invoice, right? So this person, same thing, email, text, something like that, $15,000 referral fee at the end of the day, almost $200,000 in what they made. Now, if I look at the mobile home park that we did, that gentleman made well over $150,000 for a 20-minute handoff call. I dealt with everything. He leveraged me, right? The commercial broker did most of the work. I've got all the resources. I pay $1,200, $1,300 a month for my resources that I use. He didn't have to do anything except hand off the client, right? I get a warm introduction. He gets a massive referral fee. Fantastic. Now, you may or may not be able to do this, but this is just an example of what you could do, right? And a lot of people are just not keeping their eyes open, okay? So what you should do is start to look at your clients in terms of those buckets, right? Are they a business owner? Are they an investor? Or are they an influencer in the business, like an employee that probably knows if they need more space for their inventory, probably knows if they want to open a new location, right? And if they are, then you could introduce them to the commercial broker, okay? Once you've kind of put them in their buckets, you're going to collaborate with the commercial broker. Now, what I would do if I were you, I would go and find out what type of contacts you have. They may be a bunch of multifamily investors, might be a bunch of people who invest in industrial, whatever the case may be. What you're going to find, you go on LoopNet, you go on Crexy, you search for the property type that you have access to the most, right? Maybe there's a bunch of people that have storage facilities around you, and you know a bunch of those people. Go find the people transacting storage facilities. You're going to find in commercial, there's a very small pool of people who do any volume of business. So when you look up storage facilities in your area on LoopNet or Crexy, those are both free. You're going to find that there's only a few people doing storage facilities or leasing them or selling them. And you're going to pull that person up. You're going to find not them, not the listing broker. You're going to find the junior agent, the second one listed on the listing. Okay, because here's what happens. The listing broker is the rainmaker, and oftentimes the listing broker has no time for incoming calls. They just don't have the time. If it's listed on LoopNet or CoStar or Crexy, it's probably so they can gather buyer leads. That's probably why they've done that. They probably transacted anything meaningful usually gets transacted outside of the open market. So when you call the junior agent, they're the one who's going to pick up the call. They're the one who you need to deal with and talk to and say, look, I have a whole lot of storage facility owners in my database. I do residential. Would you like me to refer some business to you? And can you give me a referral fee if I do so? And you negotiate that. And then you decide on an agreement. I would do some sort of agreement that you can repeat every single time. So when you send them a referral, it's a referral that they can then sign off on. And it's an agreement in how much percent you're going to get, how long that lasts for, how many deals it lasts for. And then it's clear, okay? But that's not the difficult part. The difficult part from there is following up, because a lot of commercial brokers don't necessarily have the CRM in place to follow up with you. Okay, it's going to be on you to follow up with them. So we have plenty of tools that you can have access to. If you're watching this on a webinar, we can send them to you. There's calculators, there's different trackers that we have, things that you can do pretty much for free that you can use to track these, because you're going to want to track it for months until it closes, and then you're going to want to ask for that referral fee as it closes. Okay. And after that, all you need to do is just do the 10-4-3 strategy and a golden handoff. So golden handoff is where you maybe have a standing meeting with someone who's adjacent to your business. So this could be an attorney who deals with family law, for instance. they may come across some commercial real estate needs. Okay. And if you have a commercial broker that you have an agreement with, you now have commercial real estate resources that you can deploy. You can now say that my team, they're part of your team, make sure that they're okay with that. My team can handle commercial real estate, right? And me, for example, my brokerage does commercial real estate nationally. So if you need to refer something to us, we're happy to receive it. But likely your brokerage, the brokers that you know in your area are probably who you're going to want to reach out to for that. 10-4-3 method is very simple. 10 contacts or 2 decision makers. Speak to 10 decision makers a day, 4 days out of the week, 3 weeks out of the month. This is what we use on the commercial side. And if you really wanted to ramp things up, you could do that. Okay. But at the end of the day, if you're just doing the same thing you've always done on the residential side and just keeping an eye out for commercial real estate needs, asking questions about commercial real estate, you should be fine. There's kind of a different way of looking at it. Those 3 buckets, right? Everyone all of them falls into either an employee that probably knows a commercial broker or a commercial real estate need person, which would be a business owner themselves who has commercial real estate needs, or an employee or an investor. And the thing is, you have a huge advantage over commercial brokers like me, especially if you're in residential, right? They know you, they like you, they trust you, they've done business with you likely, and you have an opportunity to introduce them to a commercial broker. I have to do things like cold calls. I have to build my database one at a time. A lot of commercial brokers are not very good at keeping track of their clients after the close. We should be, but the most they usually get is an anniversary email or something rather, or a call. They might get a just listed email or physical mail. That's pretty much it. Maybe every now and then we send a postcard out asking them, if they want to know what their property's value is. But since you know the people, you can actually reach out to the commercial brokers and make that introduction to us. Most people are not going to have a commercial broker, just like you would have a financial advisor that you go to all the time once a year. Most people don't have their commercial broker review their properties once a year. Most people don't. And so just having a commercial broker who can basically be the advisor for your real estate portfolio would be huge. And since you already know these people, you can be that connector that introduces them to the commercial broker. Makes that deal happen, right? Now, we decided to make things even easier. So what I found is you can, back 10 years ago, we would do manual handoff calls. We can still do that, of course. That works just fine. Those numbers I gave you on those examples, that was from just, actual physical calls. But we made it a little bit easier. So we have lead magnets. We have a commercial referral network. And in the network, we have lead magnets, right? Our primary source of leads is something called the Apartment Equity Report. This is a report that they can choose if they want to see some offers on their property, or if they want to get on a buyer list, which is pretty stock standard. But we also provide what's called a POP, a property optimization plan, which is basically just designed to help them make more money with their current investment, right? We're going to look at things like tax incentives they haven't applied for, energy efficiency credits, all kinds of stuff that they could know, but it's our job to know everything. And so if you're part of our commercial referral network, we will give you the link that just goes to you. So if you share that with your apartment owners, for example, they then go and sign up, and they get on the list, and you have a dashboard that shows you exactly how many people have signed up, what their name is, and where they're at in the process. So if they're a brand new lead, you see that. If we've spoken to them, you see that. If we've proposed a listing, you see that. If they're listed, if they're in escrow, and then if they're closed, right? So when you sign up, you sign a referral agreement with us. You get these, we call them magic links, these special links just for you. You start with just the one or two. You start with the equity report one, which is the lowest hanging fruit. You don't really need to know much other than we're going to help the owner make more money with a report. And then they can decide to deploy those strategies themselves, or we can help them. That's fine. It's up to them. but it's a free report they can do that gets them in our system. And then we follow up with them. We track them. We follow them from now to the end of time. You're registered as the referring agent, the agent who brought them to us. So it makes it a lot easier for you. Now, the cool thing is, number one, you get paid, right? So we sign a referral agreement, and then after the fact, you get paid. Cool thing is, we have a whole lot of these, right? But you have to level up. So we just start you out with this one right here. This is an example of what that looks like. And it's the equity report. And then if you refer in a certain number of people, you level up and you get to unlock another lead magnet. So this would be another one of, for example, investing in net leases. Okay, so depending on the volume of members that we're dealing with, we may auto select these for you, or you can select one for yourself. Right? Here's, this is just a sampling of the different lead magnets we have that you can. So first, you have to get trained on it. You don't have to get trained on the equity report, but you do have to get trained on the rest of these, right? So knowing what cost segregation is and the strategies behind it, you don't have to know everything about it, but you have to know enough that you know when to share that, for example. So after you've shared a certain number of links for this, and you've got a certain number of people in your pipeline as people you've referred to us, we then open up another category for you. You take a short class on how to identify people who need that, and then we will open that link up for you as part of your library. And then you can share that too, and you can go on and on until you have a massive library of these. We handle everything. You get to have a commercial broker handling everything for you. You get to refer things out. You can do it one at a time too. So there's a form you can fill out if you wanted to just refer someone out manually and then do a call with us to do a discovery call, see if there's something there. We do that too. So I find that's helpful. That's what we've built. It's called the Commercial Referral Network. We have those lead magnets. We also have the tracking dashboard, so you see everyone who's been referred in from you. You have also some great training for commercial real estate. There's over 70 hours of commercial real estate training. If you have an interest in learning commercial real estate, you can learn it. The dashboard also has a community of, there's dozens and dozens of different articles that we've written on different topics and ways to refer business and ways to transact commercial real estate. The 1043 is a good example. We have training on that. Okay. You've also got 24/7 access to a commercial broker. So if you have a commercial question, you can always get a hold of a commercial broker. And what this means is you've essentially got commercial brokerage in your hip pocket, ready to go, ready to help you with any commercial needs that you might have. And you can reach us through, there's a one-on-one call that you can sign up for. You can just get on a call with us one-on-one. We have a chat function where you can open up a chat box and chat with us there. We have live office hours every single Friday. I go over a different topic on commercial real estate and answer commercial questions. We've helped people close tens of millions of dollars in commercial real estate. Several of them, it's been their first deal. And we do that in office hours. And so you have access there too. And then if all else fails, if it's 3 a.m. and you have a commercial question, we have what's called Commercial GPT. So there's an AI commercial real estate assistant that we trained. You have access to that as well. And this actually is the best part in my mind. This is huge. This saves me hours every single week. Commercial GPT, and you have an access immediately to that as well. You get to ask it questions. You can, I've actually deployed I loaded in like 160-page scope of work for a tenant the other day, and it was able to analyze it in 5 seconds and give me all the information I needed about that scope of work. It was really cool. So if you want to access that, there should be a link. Here's a link right here, ospreycbs.com/registration. If you're a commercial broker yourself and you want to be on the receiving end of this, you can let us know there, or that root domain, ospreycbs.com. That's our main website. That's where our CRM is housed. But what we'd like to do is start you on your commercial real estate opportunities right away. When we get signed up, we want the first 7 days to involve you getting your first commercial deal. So you're going to sign up, you're going to get links. We're going to sign an agreement. You're going to get your links. You're going to get access to the community, all the training classes. You're going to schedule your onboarding call, and that's where we're going to do a strategy session with you. And we're going to find out where you're at, where you'd like to go, what you'd like to do, whether you're residential or you're new in commercial, or if you're a seasoned commercial. We'll find out where we need to put you in what bucket. And from there, we're going to implement this process. You're going to have 1 to 3 commercial opportunities in your current database going within 30 days. And I would even go so far as to say, it's a guarantee. If you don't and you're unhappy, we'd be happy to give your money back at the end of that. As of now, until we hit a certain threshold, we give this too. Here's another training that we have. This is a whole class on that process of referring business out. There's a whole class, trackers, checklists, calculators, all kinds of stuff. That's included there too. That's it. Yeah. Anyway, here's a lot of the cool stuff included. But what I was going to say is until we hit a certain number, we are going to keep the registration at $97 a month. That lets us operate it. It basically is break even for us. We're doing testing. So as long as you're seeing this webinar or this video, we will keep you, if you sign up, at $97 a month. After we hit a certain threshold, we can only handle so many leads coming in. So until that gets higher, until we're able to leverage that up, we're probably not going to be able to take too many more. But that price will jump up once we hit that threshold. So that's it. That's all I wanted to chat about today. If you have any questions, go there, ospreycbs.com/registration, and we'll get you signed up. We'll get you onboarded. We'll do a strategy session. We'll see how we're going to find those at least 1 to 3 commercial opportunities that are in your current book of business right now. And we're going to show you how you can just continue doing what you're doing on your day-to-day by getting you access to this class right here, the Commission Catalyst class, which is kind of a much more detailed talk and instructions on exactly what we went over just now, except it's in much more detail. There's a lot more tools and resources there too. Hope I see you at office hours. Again, every Friday we're live, 10 a.m. Hope I see you there. And I'm going to stick around for a moment if there's any questions. Otherwise, we will see you next time. All right. I don't see any questions, guys. We will see you next time. Oh, I guess I could have been doing this, huh? Could have had the little ticker going the whole time. Anyways, we'll see you next time. If you have any questions in the meantime, go ahead and post them on this video and reply to any of the emails that were sent to get you signed up here. We will talk to you next time.